Okay, so how to save money on a gaming PC? The TLDR, the short version, is you just play older games. Okay, but I'm gonna give you the long version because you're not gonna understand the short version. So there's this comic where the artist of the comic closes his eyes and he visualizes that he's an old man and that he doesn't have any time left, and that tomorrow's his last day and he has one day left on the earth. And as this old man, he thinks back and wishes that he was still young again. And then the artist opens his eyes and suddenly he's young again and he has 20 years left or whatever. And it's like, oh, it's so, once I think about what it would be like to have no time left, now I can appreciate what I've got now. And a similar kind of idea is, I sometimes I eat these really cheap meals and I think, oh man, I don't have it so good. I'm eating these cheap meals. But then I think back to a time in history where like there was no food, you know, and it's like significantly better to have some food at all rather than to have no food whatsoever, right? So I become more appreciative. So if you go back to, like, say, the early 2000s, having a PlayStation 2 would have been like the most amazing thing, right? Having a PlayStation 2 was like, oh, if you could get that, you were having a good time. Uh, and there's nothing fundamentally different about the games from then and now. You can simulate a PlayStation 2. I can simulate it on my Chromebook here. I don't need a gaming computer to simulate a PlayStation 2 game, because PlayStation 2 games are so old that a modern day computer will run it real fast, and you can just download the game. I'm not saying that you should download the game. If they gave me a way to pay for the game, then I would pay for it, right? I wouldn't pay the full price because it's not a new game. I should be able to get some kind of discount for it. But the moment that they make it an option for me to go and pay a discounted price for older PlayStation 2 games, is the day that I'm going to start paying for them. So I'm just looking for that and I might even be able to pay a premium for like a few really good games, but there's no reason I'm paying like $20 for an old game like Doom or something like that, right? But the idea is, they're working on that to where you can buy old games. You can go to goodoldgames.com, or you can just download the game. But the idea is, you could be paying thousands of, dollars these days for a big gaming computer just to play the latest game. And there's no need to do that. You could be playing an older game and you'd be having just as much fun as playing modern day games. Some people, like, they get off on the idea that their game is the newest game. Like, oh, I'm playing the latest game with my friends. Like, that's not only not worth it, but I would say that you're like a weaker mental mind if you psych yourself out to where you can't enjoy a game unless it's got like the top graphics. Like, back in the day, the PlayStation 2 games were like the top graphics. And there's no reason why you can't have fun playing the original Game Boy games and the Game Boy Advance games. And basically, you could go on Walmart.com right now, and you can buy a handheld gaming console for, like, let's say $50, and it's got thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of games on it. And there's just no excuse to be bored. If you're bored in the modern day, then you're doing something wrong. There's when you've got YouTube, for example, there's no reason to be bored. Like, it's just an infinite number of stuff to watch on YouTube. There's like free TV services online now. It's not the same as live TV, but you can basically watch TV for free. And there just isn't any reason to be bored in modern day. If you're really feeling bored and you got a computer, you can just go and put your computer in the closet and just forget that you have a computer. And after a few weeks of doing that, you're going to miss the computer and you're going to realize how good you had it. It's called a dopamine fast. But essentially, like, there's just no reason to go buy a gaming computer. I mean, there's some games that are modern that are so fun, like Elden Ring, or like it can be fun to play Minecraft with all the mods. But if you're playing Minecraft in alpha version, or if you're playing Minecraft, a little Chromebook is fine. I have like so many games on my little Chromebook, and it's like a superpower. It's kind of like the idea of like, imagine if there was a job that was the exact same as your job, but it paid twice as much, right? All of a sudden you would feel really dissatisfied with your job. You'd be like, oh, I wish I had that job that paid twice as much as the same as mine. But if I never told you about it, then you wouldn't know any different, right? You wouldn't feel like half as good. And it's kind of like, okay, yeah, there are modern games that are like a little bit better, but like it's you've kind of been tricked into like keeping up with the Joneses, And there's just no reason to play modern games when like any crap top is going to be able to run any game within a certain amount of time. You're going to be able to play any game you want, right? So like even Skyrim will run on a cheap laptop one day when the laptops keep doubling and doubling and doubling in compute power, right? And so there's just no reason to like I'm still playing Morrowind with mods, right? I'm still playing stuff like Daggerfall. I'm still playing the good old games. I'm still playing the classic games, Half-Life 2, Minecraft, and having a blast. And I have no shortage of games. My Chromebook can play Roblox, right? So even some of the modern games I can still play and have fun. And there's just no reason why you need like an expensive gaming setup. It's just kind of vanity. It's kind of like and I get that it's fun to be included into the games that are like stylish to play at the moment, but it's like that ends up costing you a lot. And if you could just get used to like literally, if you could just get used to like a laptop or a small tablet, then you wouldn't have to have a gaming computer like attached, and you'd be that much more fast, right? You'd be that much more on the go. Because like my Chromebook is on the go. I can take it with me anywhere in my backpack, and the battery lasts for hours and hours. So I can take my gaming setup with me anywhere, right? And I haven't paid a dime for a game in a long time. And just my regular old, just whatever computer I've got. Instead of thinking like, oh, I need to save up all this money so I could get this amazing gaming computer that I don't have, just take whatever computer you got and just figure out which games run on that computer and just stick to those games. And it's just like a mental superpower that just saves you a lot of money. And eventually you're going to be able to play all those really amazing games. You have to wait until the compute speed just keeps doubling every few years. So that's the idea.